What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to show you exactly how to set up a Tangem wallet step by step. I have a brand new box of cards. It's a 3-pack, and I'm going to walk you through how to set it up using a seed phrase, and I'll also show you some other little tips within the app. So we're going to jump right into it. So let me switch over to this guy right here. Okay, so here we are. You only need two things to set up your Tangem wallet. Um, you need your cards, and or if you have the ring, you need your ring, and then you need your phone, and then we're going to download the Tangem app. Now, the one thing I will say, if you are interested in getting a Tangem wallet, there is a 10% discount down in the description of this live stream, or you can get 15% ring using that same link. Um, so yeah, this is what you get when you open up the box. This is a 3-pack, so you get 3 cards. And then you have a little getting started guide, which I've honestly, I don't think I've ever looked at this, but it basically tells you how to set up the wallet, even though it explains it on the phone. And if you want to ensure you're downloading the official app, you can always just scan this QR code. I'm going to set that to the side. But for this video, we're just going to show you how to download it from the App Store. So whether it's the Google Play or the Apple App Store, we're going to go there and search for Tangem. And it's going to be this one right here that says Tangem. We're going to go ahead and install that. And I'm using an Android phone for this because I'm recording. I'm using my iPhone for this camera, but you can use the Tangem wallet on both iOS and Android mobile devices that have full NFC support. So then we're going to go ahead and open up the Tangem app once it's downloaded. If you want to read through the terms of service, be my guest. I am not going to. I'm just going to hit accept. One of the new features Tangem has is the push notifications. So if you receive any incoming transactions or anything like that, or if you just want to stay up to date with the latest features, go ahead and just tap allow if you want that. I'll take the push notifications, so I'll enable that. Okay, here we are at the setup screen. And this pretty much walks you through everything, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. I will say a fair warning, this phone, that's the Solana Seeker, it doesn't have the best NFC scanner, so bear with me if I can't scan it. On my iPhone, it works extremely well. I even have like a super thick case on it. But yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. So all we have to do is tap Scan Tangem, and we're gonna pick up any card, it doesn't matter, and hold it to the back of the phone. Okay, this is an important step that this is where most people mess up. If you wanna create your wallet without a seed phrase, you would just tap Create Wallet. If you want to use a seed phrase or import your own seed phrase from another wallet, you need to go to Other Options. So you have 2 options, generate a seed phrase or import wallet. So again, if you had a seed phrase, you could go here, you enter it right here in chronological order. If you have a password wallet or a hidden wallet, you can enter the passwords right here. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to generate a brand new seed phrase. So I'll tap Generate Seed Phrase. Obviously, I'm not going to use the seed phrase that you're seeing on screen. I'll just throw it away after the video. But you have 2 options. You can generate 12 or 24 words. For the ease of this video, I'm going to generate the 12 words. Now, you need to record this, write it down. Tangem does not come with a sheet to write down your seed phrase. I have another one from another wallet, so I'm just going to take a moment to write this down. Obviously, you want to ensure that you write it down in chronological order. Notice, inherit, Congress, and field. And I will say there is a much better option than a piece of paper if you plan on, storing your crypto long term, like most of us do, which I'll show you here in a second. But a piece of paper is only good for the initial recording of your seed phrase. But of course, because it's paper, it can get destroyed really easily So I prefer not to store my seed phrase on a piece of paper. What I use, and you can find this on Amazon or whatever, is this is a metal seed phrase plate. I would open it up, but it has a seed phrase inside of it. But this stores one 12 or it stores two 12 or one 24 word seed phrase. This is fireproof. Um, it's corrosion proof. It's resistant to water. This is just 304 stainless steel. It comes with pre-cut metal letters, excuse me, that you'll use to put your seed phrase in here. Um, there's a lot of different options. If you're interested in this one, there is a link in the description along with a 8% discount code. But I have three or four of these things, and this is, this will last a lifetime. I've even in a video, I put this one on my grill, and it was like 650 degrees. And this is the actual one. You can see it's a little beat up. I dropped on the ground and put it in water, and it still looks pretty dang good. So that's in the description. That's what I recommend long term. Okay, hopefully I didn't mess this up. Okay, anyways, so we have our seed phrase written down. Now we're going to tap continue, and a lot of wallets will have you the entire seed phrase, but for this one, we're just verifying the first few words. So the second word that I wrote down was inherit. The seventh word that I wrote down was now, and then the 11th word I wrote down is truck. And we're going to tap create wallet. Now we need to scan the same card that we started with, and you can see on the back here, it ends in 5640. See right here, 5640. So I'm going to hold that to the back of the phone, and there we go. We can set this one over here. No backup devices. To set up a Tangent wallet, you need a minimum of 2 cards, a maximum of 3. So we're going to tap add card or ring, and now we're going to pick up the next card in your set and just scan that one. Hold it down. Again, the NFC scanner on this phone is not the best. You have to get it in the correct spot. And then I'll add the last card, and then you just tap add card or ring. If you only had 2 cards, you would finalize your backup. But since this is a 3-pack, I'm going to add a final card. And there we go. Okay, so all these cards have been scanned. Now I can go ahead and tap finalize backup. Now we need to create the access code. So the access code, most wallets will have you set up a PIN. Tangem is cool. It lets you create an entire unique password using numbers, letters, and even symbols if you want to. And you want to make sure you remember this your access code as well, because this is what you use to use each one of your cards. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to do something extremely simple, but you want to ensure that this is, robust and long. If you have to write it down, that's fine too. But as you can see, you can use numbers and letters and everything. Okay, so the access code is good. Now we need to find the primary card. The primary card is just the one that you first scanned. Once everything is set up, it doesn't matter what card you use, they're all connected. But for the second process, you have to use a specific one. So it says prepare the backup card with number 5640, which you can see they both match. So we're going to go ahead and scan the card again, and we hold it for 15 seconds. Someone said the audio is super choppy. Let me know if that's still the case. Okay, next we want to scan 5632 so you can see they match. So we'll scan the card 5632. Dun, dun, dun. And if you have any questions about the Tangent wallet, how it works, just drop them in the chat. We'll do a live Q&A after the setup and after I show you some things. And then we're scanning the last card. Long hold for 15 seconds. Okay. All right, we're just gonna have to roll with the audio, guys. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let me know. Okay, so now it brings you to the manage tokens page. This is just where you add the different coins, which I'll show you how to add more later. But basically, if you want to enable any of your crypto or whatever it is, this is where you do it. So let's say you're going to manage Solana. I would just Solana here, and because it's a new network we're adding, we have to scan a card to basically confirm it, and we will have to enter the access code um, to add it. But you don't have to add all the cryptocurrencies right now. You can always add them later, which I'll show you how to do. You can also enable biometrics. If you enable biometrics, this will um, allow you to open up your app using just your fingerprint scanner or your face. If you don't enable biometrics, you'll have to scan your card every time just to open up the app. Personally, I use biometrics. It doesn't really matter to me because you'll always need the physical card to transact. So even if someone opened up my phone and got into the app, it doesn't matter. They need my card and my access code to transact. I'm going to allow the biometrics, and that's it. The Tangem wallet is set up and it's ready for use. It's really that simple. If you don't use a seed phrase, you can literally do this in 60 seconds, even, well, let's say 120 seconds. You have to scan the cards for 15 seconds, but it's really easy. So, and also, kind of walk you through the different things in the app, but I'm just going to show you. You can see we have three different cryptocurrencies. Now, maybe you have other cryptos that you want to add to your wallet that aren't listed here. So you'd go up to settings, select your wallet. You can also rename your wallet if you want to. So, you know, this is maybe this is just your Bitcoin wallet. You can name it whatever cryptocurrency is held in it, but let's just call this one Skrilla. Okay. Now to add tokens, you just go to the manage tokens section. And then this is where you enable whatever tokens you want to add to the main tokens page. So let's say we want to add XRP because we're going to manage some XRP. We're going to need to enter our access code, tap continue, and scan any card, doesn't matter. And there we go. So now if we go back to the main tokens page, you can see that XRP is right there. As far as like getting your receiving address to send crypto to your wallet, let's say you're on a crypto exchange, you want to send Bitcoin to your Tangent wallet, you just select Bitcoin. You can also buy Bitcoin directly in the wallet if that's what you want to do. I prefer to send it from my preferred exchange. So I just tap receive, and then it gives you a warning. Only send funds on the Bitcoin network to this address. Now, on something like Bitcoin, there are two options. There's the default address, which is this is the SegWit address. It's like the newer version of the Bitcoin address. It's supposed to be more efficient, or the legacy address. They are different addresses, so just be aware that I would personally use the SegWit address. So you would just copy it, or whatever you want to do, and then take that over to the exchange, and that's the address you'll send crypto to. It's really the same for any cryptocurrency, except other networks will only have one address. So you just copy that to your clipboard, and you're good to go. Some other cool features that we can go through real quick. If you want to, look at the market, see what certain cryptocurrencies are doing, you can go down here and you can search for your favorite cryptocurrency, or you can kind of scroll down the list here. Let's click on Bitcoin. This will give you all the information about Bitcoin. You can see its 24-hour performance, 7-day, a year. We can see how well it's performed in its lifetime. And then you can also see some details about your portfolio. There is a security score based on 2 ratings. So it looks like it uses, Certic and Cyberscope, and the security score of a token is a metric that assesses the security level of a blockchain or token based on various factors. I don't give too much weight to this, but it is what it is. But you can also learn more about the token down here. You can see its total market cap. Bitcoin is at an insane $2.43 trillion market cap, 73 billion dollars in trading volume in the last 24 hours, and it's listed on 236 exchanges. You can view the white paper, um, a bunch of cool stuff. But let's say you wanted to, look up a meme coin. You type in your favorite coin, select it, and you're going to get all the same information. So pretty cool. Okay. Again, if you wanted to buy crypto directly on the Tangem wallet, you can do that. Tangem uses a third-party exchange to do this. So you just tap buy. You can also sell crypto directly to your bank account using the Tangem wallet, and you can swap crypto if you want to as well. So it just kind of depends on what you want to swap. But let's go into the settings and look at some other things about these wallets. So let's start with app settings. I will say the Tangem app, you can add multiple Tangem wallets. So even if you had, 10 different sets of cards, you want to add more to the app, you would actually go here, tap add new wallet, and then you just go through the setup process again with your new cards. And it's exactly the same setup that we went through. So if you want to manage multiple Tangem wallets, which this wallet that I just set up is my eighth set. You can manage it all in one app if you want to, but we're not going to do that. Next, we'll go to app settings. So let me walk you through the differences here. The keep wallet in app feature, uh, enable to link all the wallets to the Tangem app. Biometric authentication will be required for unlocking the app, but the transaction signing still requires tapping your card. So this basically just makes it so you don't have to scan your card every time to open up the app and see your portfolio. So if you just want to use your biometrics, you'd want to enable this. If you want to have to scan your card every time, make sure to disable this. And then we have the same access code. Biometric authentication will be requested instead of the access code for interactions with your card or ring. If this is enabled, again, like to do a transaction, you'll first have to use biometrics and then scan your card. If you would rather, if you prefer to have to enter your access code and using biometrics, you would want to disable this. And then the high balance feature. This is I can show you. If we go back to the portfolio here, you literally just flip your phone. I don't know if it works on this one because this is kind of a cheap Android phone. But on my iPhone, if you just like give it a quick flip, it'll turn this into stars or asterisks so that you can't see your portfolio. Doesn't seem to work and it might not support. So that's the app settings. You can also use Wallet Connect. This is if you wanted to connect to, various websites where you would interact with your wallet. I don't recommend doing that with your main cold storage wallet. But if you got multiple Tangent wallets and you wanted to use one as like a day trading wallet, select this, then go to New Connection, um, then allow the camera. And this allows you to scan QR codes to connect to websites like, let's say you're using Uniswap on Ethereum or something like Jupiter on Solana. This is how you would connect your Tangent wallet to it. So we'll go back. If you click on the actual wallet and then go to another thing, if you collect NFTs, you can enable the NFT button. This will allow you to view and manage directly in the Tangent app. But if you go to device settings, to access device settings, we need to scan our card. Okay. Okay, cool. So you can see a few different things, but basically you have a few different options. We have the change access code feature. Access code will only be changed on the one card or ring that you change it for. And if you don't want this option enabled, um, you can disable it. Like, if you don't want anyone to be able to reset your access code using your card, you would wanna disable this. So disable this option if you don't want this card to be used to reset access codes, on other cards. Please note this will also prevent you from resetting access code on this card. So, you kinda have to decide if this is an option for you. And since we still have it enabled, if we wanted to change the access code on just one of our cards, we would just have change access code, and then, enter the new password or whatever it is. And again, this only changes it for one card. So if you want to change it for all cards, you need to do this for each card. We just get 624 is the card we did. I will hold it, and the access code has been changed. Another option, if you want to completely reset your cards for some reason back to factory settings so that you can go through the setup process again, you would tap reset to factory settings. Make sure if you have crypto on your wallet when you do this. If you have a seed phrase, you're fine. You could safely reset it. If you set up your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase, you'd want to transfer your crypto off your Tangem wallet before doing this option. Otherwise, you would lose all your crypto. Um, but yeah, I mean that's about it. In terms of setup. This is why I say Tangem is the most user-friendly wallet on the market right now. Um, the app is super simple. It really walks you through everything and tells you exactly what to do. Another thing, if you're wondering if your wallet has a seed phrase or not, if you forget or something, if you look up here, it does say this is a seed phrase wallet, and there are three parts. So that's one way to easily tell. If you add a second wallet, um, I could probably try. Let me try to add my ring. Don't know. So this is a Tangem ring. It works exactly like the cards, and it comes with two cards as well. But let's see if I can add this wallet. Let me enter my access code here. Let's see. Don't know if I remember the access code for this right now, so I might not be able to add it. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I don't think it's the right access code. Yeah, so I don't remember my access code for this for my ring. It's a super long one. I have it written down, so I can't add it. But again, if you did add a new wallet, all you need to switch between your wallets is slide left and right here at the top, and you can manage a bunch of different wallets like that. And that's it. That's really how you set it up. Um, Again, I have discount codes in the description. You can get 10% off your entire Tangent Wallet order using the link. You can get a 2-pack or a 3-pack. You can also get a Tangem ring, which again works exactly like the cards. And the ring comes with 2 Tangem cards. So this is what you get when you order the ring. And you can get 15% off this in the description. And like I mentioned earlier, if you use the seed phrase option, I highly recommend picking up a metal seed phrase plate. If you don't like this one, you can just go to Amazon and type in metal seed phrase plate. There's a bunch of different options. This is the one that I like to use. I like the pre-cut metal letters that come with it, and there is a link and discount code in the description as well. So my goal with this video is to make it, the best possible user guide for new users. So I just showed you how to set it up. If you have any questions about Tangem, please drop them in the chat. Uh, there's no dumb question. We're going to help as many people as possible. So if you have any questions about Tangem, this is your time to ask them. Set all this aside and let me move back to me. Let's get this guy out of the way. Where can I put this? Okay, connector. Okay, so let's excuse me. Let's go to the chat here. Go to the chat. Kaun, sorry if I butchered your name there, says hi. Hello, hello. Born Bad says another good video. Thank you. Felipe says, in the Tangent wallet, is it possible to have multiple receiving addresses for ETH Sol, for example, for privacy reasons? Um, Not yet. This feature is coming, hopefully by the end of the year. you'll be able to generate multiple receiving addresses for the same network. I will give a little pushback that I don't believe this actually really gives you more privacy. It does allow you to have more receiving addresses, but the blockchain itself is not private. Um, the blockchain is literally a digital public ledger of transactions. All your addresses are public data. Anyone can go on the blockchain and view them, and they can see all the wallets that you've interacted with. So if you're sending crypto, from one of your addresses to another, they're connected forever on the blockchain, and everyone can see that. Just a heads up. Tim Burner says, "Thank you. Just got my Tangem. Awesome." Ron James says, "Hello everyone. What's up, Ron?" Felipe, hopefully that was a good answer for you. Again, not a thing right now, but multiple receiving addresses will be a thing in the future, and you won't have to buy a new card to get access to that. The cool thing about Tangem is there's no firmware updates like other wallets. Um, all you have to do is update the Tangem app on your phone. So when that feature comes out, all you're going to have to do is update the Tangem app. So even if you wanted to get the wallet right now, once that feature is released, you'll be able to easily get that feature. Renaud says, I think generating the seed phrase generates an unnecessary risk by showing it on a phone that can be hacked at the time of or having a keylogger. I like the air gapped aspect of it. A couple things. So the Tangem app is it's not affected by any malware on your phone, as well as keyloggers. And I made a video about this as well. Like, there's a lot of features that they disable in the Tangem app when doing sensitive things like transacting or setting up the seed phrase. For example, if you do a screen recording of your seed phrase, like during the process, or if you take a screenshot, when you go and play back that video, or when you go and look at that photo, it's completely blank. There's no seed phrase, even though you were setting up the seed phrase. So yeah, and you have to look at the facts and the data. Tangem has been around since 2017. 6 million cards shipped. Not a single one has ever been compromised. Um, Also, the seed phrase isn't stored on the app or on your phone. It's only displayed long enough for you to write it down, then it's transferred to your cards, the secure element chip on the cards where it is, basically, hack proof, um, and then you don't have to worry about anything. So, it hasn't been a risk at this point, and it's very unlikely that it will ever be a risk, in my opinion. As far as, it being air gapped, Tangem is not air gapped. Any wallet that uses NFC or any other external forms of communication like Bluetooth or external network communication, Bluetooth, even USB-C, those are not air-gapped wallets. So it is not an air-gapped wallet. Also, air-gapped wallets are pure marketing. They're not actually more secure than a non-air-gapped wallet. It's just to sell you, um, just marketing to sell you a wallet. Legat says, "Can you reset the passcode using 2 cards?" So as I showed you, you can reset it using 1 card. If you don't want that feature enabled, you can disable it for that card. So it's pretty Idea Hub, what's going on? Uh, Moto Rep says, "Is using the Lightning Network a security risk to significantly reduce fees to transfer Bitcoin from Kraken to Tangem? Thanks in advance." Tangem doesn't support the Lightning Network, so that's not an option. Tangem supports the SegWit, which is the default address, and then C. SegWit is more efficient than the legacy address, and I've transferred Bitcoin plenty of times from my Tangem wallet to Kraken. Um, at this point, it really doesn't cost much at all, like a few dollars. So, Kevin, good morning, Kevin from Florida. Shout out to Florida. Julie says, I just bought a Tangent wallet for my friend, but it comes later today. Well, no worries, Julie. If you have any questions, definitely just refer back to this video. Or if you still have any questions, I have an entire Tangent wallet playlist on my channel you can go and watch. Or just drop a comment on any one of my videos and I'll try to get back to you. Kari or Carrie still says, still waiting for my Tangent ring. Sounds super cool. Um, Once you get your Tangent ring, you can use this video to set it up. It's the exact same process. Or if you have any questions, hopefully this video helped. Debbie says, Skrilla, have you done a video transferring crypto to Tangem on Windows? I know you're a Mac guy. Thanks for the help. It's all the same, Debbie. It doesn't really matter what device you're using. When you're using a Mac or Windows, it's not any different because the exchange you're using is the exact same on every device. So if you're using Coinbase on a Mac or Coinbase on a Windows computer, it's the exact same steps and process. It doesn't look any different. Uh, so yeah. So if you want, you would just go look at just go check out the video on YouTube how to send and receive crypto using the Tangem wallet. Exactly the same. Uh, just is it more secure to get a separate phone without a SIM for the Tangem wallet? No, it's not. No, it is not. Is the sound still bad, guys? It's unfortunate that the sound isn't good. Let me know if you can hear me. Uh, if it's not good, then I can switch it up. Okay, if the audio is choppy, let me try something else. Let's see if my other mic will work. Mm, work. How does this sound? Is this any better? Let me know if this sounds good. Let me know. Let me know. What I like this mic better, anyways. Okay, way better. Cool. Okay. Jake says I bought a three pack. I'm wondering if I only register two and buy another three pack, can that first pack be matched with a new batch to create three wallets? Yes, it can. You can absolutely do that. Just because you buy a pack of cards doesn't mean they have to be used together. Even if you bought, 10 different packs, you could mix all the cards together and then set them up. It doesn't matter. So yes, you can absolutely do that. Felipe says, "Is it a good idea to give one of your cards to a trusty friend so I can make sure my seed phrase is not only in my possession in case something happens?" Not something I would personally do. I just don't trust anyone that much. Um, if that's something you feel confident doing, that's your choice. Would I say it's a good idea? No, I don't believe in giving your seed phrase or access to your wallet to anyone is a good idea. Axel says, "Can have you heard of X Seller? And if so, can you store it on Tangem?" We can check right now. I haven't heard of it. Let me see. Is that its own network? So you can indeed store X Seller on Tangem. It's right here, and it's supported as an ERC20 token. So yes, Tangem does support Exceller or XCL. Cyprian, sorry if I'm not saying that correctly, but I try my best. What is your opinion of a Tangem's official channel's latest video titled "What Happens If My Tangem Wallet Disappears"? Is it true IRL what they say, the 2-minute video? I'm not sure what video you're referring to. If you could, tell me what was said in the video, but Tangem's not going to put out a video where they blatantly lie to people. So, whatever video they put out, I'm sure it's true. CM ordered 2 Tangems. Just wanted to confirm this works with Coinbase for cold storage. So, don't think of exchanges and wallets as like one or compatible with each other. They're completely separate. So, it doesn't matter what crypto exchange you're using. As long as that crypto exchange allows you to send crypto externally, then it works with any cold wallet. So all the popular crypto exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, Crypto.com, Binance, Gemini, those all allow you to send crypto. So yes, you can send crypto to your cold storage wallet. crypto back to the exchange using your wallet. Robert says, "I started using Kraken 3 days ago, and within a day, the recurring buys glitched out. Could have been my bank, but they locked my account, and now it's taking me multiple days to get support." Um, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. I would just definitely try to get in contact with Kraken. In my experience, I got I got support within, like, I got an email and I replied and I instantly had support, so, um, not sure. Uh, let's see, I received my Tangem ring set. The plan is to move from Coinbase to Tangem. Will I keep my present position that's on Coinbase after I do the move? So transferring your crypto doesn't change your entry price or anything like that. That's all recorded on the blockchain where crypto lives. Crypto does not exist outside of the blockchain. It doesn't exist on Coinbase. It doesn't exist in your Tangem wallet. Those are just tools that are used to manage your crypto on the blockchain. So simply transferring your crypto from one blockchain address to another blockchain address, which is what you're doing, uh, but the blockchain address that you're transferring to is controlled by you, your keys. It doesn't change any of that. Of course, you won't be able to access your crypto on Coinbase anymore. It'll be accessed through your Tangent wallet. That's the only difference. And obviously, it'll be much more secure than keeping it on Coinbase, and you'll be in full. Um, Pantheon said, is BNB Smart Change also available? I don't know what BNB Smart Change is. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. If you could clarify what you mean. Pantheon also asks, is two card the best or the three pack? Um, Personally, I like the 3-pack because it's only, like, a few more dollars, but I will say it is important to consider if you're setting up your Tangent wallet without a seed phrase, then you would want the 3-pack because then the cards are the only thing you have, to access your crypto. So, you want that one extra backup in case, something happened to your cards. If you're setting your Tangent wallet up with the seed phrase, then it's fine to get a 2-pack, because you can create as many copies of your seed phrase, which is the keys to your crypto, as you want. But personally, I would just go with a 3-pack because, I don't mind spending an extra, like, $10 to get the extra card, but either one works. MotoRef says, "Thanks for your answer to the above Lightning Network question. Reason I ask, I was quoted $32 to transfer Bitcoin, from Kraken to Tangem using SegWit. Is there a cheaper way to transfer?" Um, Not really. If you're transferring on the native Bitcoin network, the fees are what they are, you know? Axel says, "Awesome. XLR is a privacy protocol that the creators handed over to the holders." Nice. CM, you're welcome. You're asking, Pantheon's asking if they can send a coin to like Binance to Tangem. Can I send coin like Binance? So you're asking like BNB? Tangem does support BNB, as you can see right here. You can send it on the native BNB beacon chain, the BNB smart chain, which you might have been asking about, or as an ERC20 token. So yes. Chester says, "This video is right on time. I'm buying my set this weekend." Awesome. Yeah, definitely, Chester. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. There's no dumb questions. If you're new to this wallet, I'm happy to help. That said, again, anyone who's getting a Tangent wallet, make sure to use the link in the description to save some money. You get 10% off your entire order. And I actually think if you buy, yeah, so you can actually get 15% off the cards if you, depending on what card you select. So let me show you real quick what I mean. So let's see. So if you use the code, if you want 15 off the ring, just again use the link in the description that gets you. It'll apply these both discounts automatically. But the Cyber Skrilla code is what gets you the main discount. Gets you 10% off. So as you can see, a 3-card set is $62, or a 2-card set is $49, or you can get the family pack, which is 2 3-card sets for $125. Probably, good deal if you want to do that. But there are certain cards that are on sale that you'll save an additional 5%, I believe. Let me see. Actually, it looks, oops, it looks like you save an additional 10%. Sorry, I messed up. So these ones that say on sale, you can see how much cheaper they are. So you get the 10% off if you choose, any of them not on sale, but, like, if you get the Bitcoin edition one, it's only $50 for 3. uh Wait a second. Yeah, see, these ones that are on sale, even cheaper. I will say my personal favorite Tangem card is the stealth version. You get 1 branded card and 2, unmarked cards. So if you're looking for, the most discreet wallet on the market, you'd go with this, the stealth set. You can see it says stealth selection or collection, and it'll come with 2 unmarked cards. So just a heads up. And I actually have a stealth one right here if you wanna see it. As you can see, there's absolutely no branding, no markings on it at all. That's my personal favorite. Uh, Pantheon Tails says, I mean BEP20 available. Yeah, Tangem supports BEP20 network and tokens on that network. So if you're looking for Dogecoin, we can type that in here. Uh, so Dogecoin in Tangem, um, if you type in Dogecoin in the managed token sections, it says it's only available on the main network. So you'd probably have to add a custom token, um, but it does support the EP20 tokens. Cypher says, "Sounds good." If you watch the video, you can just tell me what they said here on the chat, and I can answer it for you because, um, I would like to just answer that here live. So, yeah, if you just wanna tell me what they said, that would be even better. Uh, what happens if my Tangent wallet disappears? Okay, I see what video you're talking about. So if Tangem shuts down, the company shuts down and goes out of business, a couple things. One, the Tangem app is 100% open source, so it can actually be recreated by anyone with the technical know-how, or at this point, you could use AI to recreate it. So the app will always exist. Number 2, just because Tangem were to shut down, that doesn't mean, the app magically disappears from your phone. It would remain on your phone until you delete it. 3, the core functions of the app, like sending and receiving crypto, rely on the blockchain, and they're on all the blockchains that you interact with. It doesn't rely on Tangem servers or anything like that. So you would still be able to send and receive crypto. Worst case, you can send your crypto out of your Tangem wallet. That said, if you set up your Tangem wallet with a seed phrase, it doesn't matter what happens to the company or the app or the cards, because the seed phrase is ultimately what controls your crypto. So if Tangem shut down, the app disappeared, you couldn't rebuild it, but you have your seed phrase, you can just take that seed phrase and import it into a new wallet, something like Ledger or Trezor, and get access to your crypto. So definitely not a concern. Jenny Sheck says, "Thanks for the help and the discount code, much appreciated. I'm happy to help, my friend. Happy to help." Indiana Pip says, "When using a USDT on a coin, which is the least expensive way to pay for gas? Should one keep ETH to pay for them in a wallet?" Um, so that's going to depend on what network your USDT is. So Ethereum, because you always pay the gas fees or the network fees in the native network's native coin. So if your USDT is on Ethereum, then you're going to pay the gas fees in Ethereum. If it's on um, Solana, then you're going to pay the gas fees in Solana. So that would determine what your network fees are. And let me see, just for example, um, what networks USDT is on. So we go to USDT. So on the Tangem wallet, you can enable USDT on Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Avalanche, Con, uh, the Kava EVM, and Shibarium. So if you wanted like a cheaper option, you'd probably go with something like Solana, because Solana fees are only like 3 cents versus Ethereum, you're paying, maybe a few dollars or more depending on. Truman says, "How long till we get the Visa on Tangem?" Visa will be a completely separate product, the Tangem Pay. It'll be a first self-custodial, or one of the first self-custodial crypto debit cards. Um, Last I heard is by the end of the year, but only in select countries, Europe and the UK, I believe, and the US, probably a lot later in 2026. Um, but you don't need to wait to get that because Tangent Pay will work with really any cold wallet. Like if you have a Ledger wallet, if you have a Trezor, even if you're using a hot wallet like MetaMask, you'll be able to use that with your Tangent Pay or your Tangem Visa card. Axel says, "What's the difference between EliPal and Tangem cards?" The main difference is in the setup process. With the EliPal X cards, it comes with its own device. Um, I have it in a box here. It comes with its own device that you set up the seed phrase on. So instead of doing it on your phone, you do it through the device. And then after that, it's pretty much like the same process. Personally, I prefer the Tangem cards and Tangem as a company and way more than EliPal. EliPal is not a wallet I'm recommending anymore. Also, another difference. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have this big box down here of cards. Okay, I can't find it. But the main difference also with the card design on the EliPal card, the secure chip. So basically, like your debit card, right? Looks like this. EliPal's card looks like this. The chip is exposed, which means it is not waterproof. It's not anywhere near as durable as a Tangent cards. Tangent cards are EMP proof. They're resistant to electrostatic discharge, and they're also immune to X-ray machines, like if you're going through airport security or something. They're completely waterproof. And they're also temperature resistant, both hot and cold temperatures. Whereas EliPal, if you get water on that chip and it's exposed for a decent amount of time, it will ruin the card. EliPal also only comes with one card. Tangem comes with two or three cards. Um, Also, Tangem supports more cryptocurrencies than EliPal, and I believe the Tangem app is much better than EliPal's. I just enjoy using it more. But ultimately, I'd say Tangem is the easier one to use without sacrificing security. Chester asks, "When I get my set, can I give one to my sister to use independently of mine?" Okay, so you can, but Chester, realize they would all be the same wallet. So you all have access to the same crypto. So she would have access to your crypto, and you would have access to her crypto. If that's what you want, then you can definitely do that. If you want your own separate cards, then you would need at least four cards. So you could buy two four pack or two packs, and that way you could each have your own set. Um, but yeah, if you want to manage the same wallet, like you're okay doing that, you can use your Tangem cards on multiple phones. Like I have one of my Tangem wallets set up on three different phones. You can do that. You just download the Tangem app, you tap add new wallet, you scan the card and enter the access code, and then you have access to the Tangem app. But anytime you need to transact, of course, you'll need the physical card. So if that's what you want to do, and you trust each other, then you can't do that. But if you want your own separate wallets, you need to have at least two cards per person because you need two cards to set up one wallet. The Time Traveler says, with Tangem, you don't have your seed. No, as I showed in the beginning of this live stream, you have the option to set it up with or without a seed phrase. If you choose to set it up with a seed phrase, you can choose a 12 or a 24 word seed phrase. You are very welcome, Chester. Thanks for the good question. Pantheon Tell says, what do you mean by custom token? So if a wallet supports a network, then it supports basically all the tokens on those networks. For example, Tangem supports Solana, but then you have millions of Solana meme coins. Now, Tangem doesn't necessarily list all the meme coins that it supports because the assumption is that it supports the Solana network, therefore it supports all the tokens on that network. That's how it works. Um, So for example, here in the Tangem app, when you go to the Manage Tokens tab, if you want to add a certain coin that you don't see supported, but you know that the wallet supports a network, you would go tap this little plus arrow up here, and then you choose whatever network. So like you would choose the BNB Smart Chain, and then you need to enter all the details of whatever cryptocurrency you're trying to manage. So you'd have to type in like Dogecoin BNB on Google. And then you need to go and get its contract address. And then you just type in the name Dogecoin, you type in a symbol, which is DOGE, and then there will be a decimal listed with the contract as well. And then you just tap add token, and that will allow you to actually manage the token in your Tangem wallet. Bluff Beach Jungle Spa, um, in Bocas del Toro, sounds like a cool place, says support Alta coin. Well, let's check. Alta, Alta coin. Um, it doesn't look like it supports Alta. Let's try. Yeah, it does not support that network. Unfortunately, crypto casinos. Let's see. I bought a Keystone 3 Pro after watching one of your videos, upgraded to the latest firmware. None of the software wallets Keystone lists work with the Keystone. Maybe go back to an old firmware version until they can figure it out. Then. Sounds like an issue. Yeah, I would just downgrade to the last version that you had. Uh, Sovereign Money YouTube channel said Tangem isn't a real cold wallet, but rather a warm one because signatures are made to an online device. What's your opinion? I've seen his video. He makes those videos to get views, and he speaks in theory, not in facts. I think in the last video he published, he was even like one of the reasons he made that video was hoping that I would make a video responding to it because that's what I did to his first video. Um, Again, a lot of people speak in theory. Oh, this could happen. It's I don't agree. Tangem is a cold wallet. A cold wallet stores the keys to your crypto offline in a secure environment. That's exactly what Tangem does. Also, signatures are made to an online device. That's how all cold wallets work. Because cold wallets are offline, they rely on a phone or a computer app to communicate with the blockchain. The important thing is that the transaction is signed offline on the card or offline on the cold wallet, and the keys are stored there, which is the case for Tangem. So I do not agree with that guy's views, and that's all I have to say about that. You have to look at the data, look at the facts. Again, Tangem has sold 6 million cards. Not a single one has been hacked. They're coming up on 9 years of being in business. Um, and then you can look at other wallets that have a screen, like the Trezor Model One. That wallet was hacked. Cold Card or not Cold Card, or was it Cold Card? Yeah, Cold Card was hacked in the past. Both of those wallets have screens. So you just have to look at the data and don't just blindly believe what someone on a video says, including myself. Go and do your own research. I'm not talking about Reddit threads where everyone is misinformed. Go and actually read what other companies put out, learn about how the technology actually works, and then you can come to your own conclusion. Pantheon says, "Can you show the Doge chains? There's only one chain that supports Doge natively without having to add the custom token, and that's on the native Dogecoin network." Each time Travis says, "Yep, you are not custodial of your seed either." That's completely false. If you're referring to Tangem, that's not true. You are misinformed, my friend. As I showed at the beginning of this video, you set up your own seed phrase, which is completely random, and you are the only owner of seed phrase and in control. Tangem is a self-custodial cold storage wallet. No ifs, ands, or buts. Not to pry, but what's the reason for not recommending EliPal? I've been explaining this every live stream, but EliPal has they lied to me in an email. They called out another wallet brand, claiming that they were hacked, which was I called them out. The reason they did that was try to get me to complete their wallet. Not a cool way to conduct business. They also lied about the EliPal X card, claiming that it is air gapped when it is not air gapped. So their marketing tactics are deceiving. And that's not a company that I want to support or that I would recommend to other people or that I trust using. Um, Cypress says the vid talks about GitHub and if it is real what they say, if the CEO vanishes, the app can be remade using GitHub code and be accessed with cards rings not only by users but seed phrase. Yeah, that's completely true. You can go and look up the GitHub code right now on GitHub. Just type in Tangem GitHub. The app can be recreated, but again, it doesn't. None of that even matters. If you have your seed phrase, you have access to your crypto. Crypto is not stored on any wallet. Crypto only lives on the blockchain. How do you access your crypto on the blockchain? Using your seed phrase. So if you have your seed phrase, you can take that and put it into any other brand of wallet and access your crypto. It doesn't have to be Tangem. But you can indeed recreate the Tangem app if you needed to, even if the company disappears. MotoRef says, thanks for your help. Can you explain why transfer fees differ from Kraken and Tangem via Segwit for your couple dollars? And um, it just depends on how busy the network is. It could be the time of day. So yeah, it just depends. When it comes to blockchain fees, it really depends on how busy the network is at the time of your transaction. Like maybe if you try again later in the evening, it could be lower or more expensive. Just depends. Pantheon says, I have opened the coin market cap and on Doge, I see the BNB smart chain, but they're only Trust Wallet and MetaMask symbols. That doesn't mean anything. Um, yeah, that doesn't really mean anything. Space says, I understand you recommend using this written down, but is there a reason to use C-list in Tangem? A lot of people don't feel comfortable keeping track of a seed phrase or managing it themselves. That would be one reason. The reason Tangem recommends not using a seed phrase is because one of the most common ways people lose their crypto is through social engineering scams, where someone will reach out to them, or they'll get an email saying you need to, update your wallet or something. Please go to this website, and then they enter their seed phrase on the website, and then obviously the scammer has access to all their crypto because they have their keys. So as long as you understand that the seed phrase is the master key to all of your crypto, you should never in any scenario share it with anyone. That's not going to happen to you. But that is why Tangem recommends not using a seed phrase. For me, I understand the risks of sharing your seed phrase, and that if anyone asks for your seed phrase, it's a scam 100% of the time. So I am confident in my ability to manage my own seed phrase, keep them in a secure location. So yeah. Sam says, how can I create a seed phrase offline? Sam, you would just turn off your internet on your phone for that step. And then once you move on to the next step, you'll need to enable it again. To be clear, that does not do anything for you. That doesn't make it more secure. It doesn't make it any more private. It doesn't do anything. So it's just an extra step that you're. If it makes you feel better, then you can do it. Um, Me time traveler waiting for Keystone to get their stuff together. Yeah, I would just wait to hear back from Keystone. Renaud says, do you think using a seed phrase with Tangem could create a liability? I love to use it without any seed phrase even being shown anywhere. Nope, I don't think so. That hasn't been the case. They've been going strong for 9 years. And again, the seed phrase is displayed for 30 seconds while you write it down. It is not stored in the app or on the phone. So if as long as you're in a private enclosure, there's no cameras looking over your shoulder, you're fine. Uh, Droppy1 says, is it safe to share your Tangent wallet address to public spaces, including airdrops? What is your strategy on this front? You don't risk like anyone hacking your wallet by sharing your receiving address or your public address. I will say though that people can use your address to start tracking your wallet and see what other wallets you're interacting with, and then they can carry out more targeted attacks, like sending you cryptocurrencies or fake cryptocurrencies to try to get you to click on them, and then go to a phishing website. They can see maybe what crypto exchanges you interact with and try to target you, like through a phishing email if they could get your email as well. But having the public address alone is not a risk. Data is available on the blockchain. I can really go to the blockchain right now and see anyone's wallet address and see everything they have in their wallet, as well as every transaction they've ever made. So it is public data. The time traveler says, really like the way Keystone verifies a seed phrase, can do it anytime. Yeah, you can double check your seed phrase, is pretty cool. Off the grid hero says, have up to 7 ledgers that are all specific to each thing, like 3 for don't touch file for a long time, for everyday use, 1 for NFTs, 1 for just holding USC. Um, so that's what you have, and you're asking, looks like you're asking if it's safe. Ledger is safe. It's one of the best wallet brands on the market, in my opinion. Uh, and it doesn't really matter what devices you're using your Ledger wallet with. The point of using a cold wallet is to keep your keys secure because they're not online. So that is fine. Um, I would I would say don't overcomplicate your setup. Like there's no reason to have to use different phones and laptops to manage your crypto. As long as you have a cold wallet, you can manage it safely using the cold wallet. Pantheon Tail says, should we swap on Tangent or an exchange? It's really up to you. You could do either. Depends on what you're swapping. Um, it doesn't support swapping every type of cryptocurrency, neither does exchanges. So it really depends. In my experience, it is usually you get better rates for swapping outside of Tangem on your own preferred exchange, which is just as easy. Again, it really just depends on the crypto you're swapping. So yeah, either one works. I've swapped on Tangem. I've swapped on Kraken. Recently, I compared the swap fees on Kraken to Tangem, and it was within a few cents. But again, it depends on the crypto you're swapping as well as the amount that you're swapping. Um, I have learned that you have to deposit 1 XRP to your Tangem wallet before you can transfer the rest of your XRP. So for $1 of XRP, it doesn't transfer. That's why. That is not specific to Tangem wallet. That doesn't have anything to do with wallet. That is a requirement of the XRP ledger. So when you use XRP, when you open a new wallet address on any wallet, it doesn't matter. The XRP requires a deposit of 1 XRP, and this is to prevent people creating a bunch of spam accounts on the network. That is a requirement for any wallet. Again, not specific to Tangent. But thanks for sharing that because that is a good. A lot of people don't know that. That's really dope if the app can be fully created. Thanks. And lastly, even if you don't want to hear me say it again, I'm still waiting for that secret review. Even if you make it as a YouTube short, I'll definitely consider that um, for sure. I appreciate your patience. Jerome says, finally, Miss J says, just got here. How do you transfer crypto from Kraken to the Tangem app? The same way you transfer crypto to any wallet. If you want to see that process, type in on YouTube how to send and receive crypto Tangem wallet. I have an entire video that shows you how to do that. Um, yeah, just follow the. Let's see. I tried to send XRP to my Tangent wallet, but I can't because they say it's Ripple. I don't get it. Who says it's Ripple? The exchange, I'm assuming. Let me just go to XRP here and show you something. So in the Tangem app, you need to make sure that you have the correct XRP enabled. So if it's saying it's on the Ripple network, you want to enable the ledger, the XRP ledger main, and that's the address that you want to send XRP to. Also, like the previous person said, you'll need to send 1 XRP to the address first, and then you should be able to send the rest. Pantheon says, what about the staking feature? I have an entire video about Tangent staking. If you just type in how to stake crypto on YouTube, I don't know if there's a specific question you have, but Tangent supports native staking. So if you just go to your Tangent app and you support on cryptocurrency that supports staking, which like Solana, you can see right here, Tangent allows users to stake their Solana in this case. So if I had Solana in my account, I just tap stake, and then you can see the APR. You can see the unbound period. Reward claiming is automatic. A bunch of stuff like that. I don't have any Solana in here. So I can move through with it. But yeah, you can stake crypto natively with the Tangent wallet. Lava Flame says the only thing that scares me about Tangem is that the card itself isn't open source, which I understand due to the chip reasons, but Trezor was 100% open source. Hope Tangem gives us more details. Yeah, most wallets that use a chip manufactured by another company. There's very few companies that manufacture secure 11 chips. That's why most of them are closed source. They've spent billions of dollars in decades hardening their chips, making them more secure, making them hack proof. If they open source those chips, then that would mean everyone would have access to all their secrets that they've spent the time and money doing. So the reason most secure element chips are closed source doesn't have anything to do with the wallet manufacturer, but everything to do with the chip manufacturer. Um, we still know how Tangem generates the keys and how all that works, which is the important stuff. They have plenty of articles breaking down the entire process. Um, but in the case of something like Trezor, they designed their own in-house secure element chip, to my knowledge, which is the reason that they're able to open source it. But the cool thing about Tangem is their app is open source, and again, you can see how the keys are created. What about TRX and Doge staking? There's no TRX. Let me see. You can't stake Doge Tangem, so I'll tell you that. You can stake TRX. It's the same process for everything. You just have the crypto in your wallet, you select it, then you tap the stake button, and then you select how much you want to stake. And Tangem adds staking for cryptocurrencies about every month. So there are new coins coming out every month that you can stake. Um, as far as Dogecoin is not a cryptocurrency you can stake. Dogecoin is the native network is a proof of work network, so that doesn't use staking. Whereas something like Solana is proof of stake, they use a staking. So yeah, like in general, Dogecoin is not a crypto you can stake. Lava Flames, can I transfer Bitcoin using the BNB 20 chain to Tangem and leave it there safely for years? This chain doesn't need fees. BNB does have fees. They just have cheaper fees. Let me see what network Tangem supports for Bitcoin. Bitcoin only supports the main network on Tangem, so you probably won't be able to use a BNB 20 chain. Personally, I wouldn't want to have my Bitcoin like wrapped in BNB. I like to store Bitcoin on its native network. That's just my personal preference. It's really it really doesn't cost a lot to send. If you can't afford $30 to send crypto, I would be questioning why you're in crypto in the first place, considering how volatile and risky it is. That's just my opinion. What do you think about using the stacks for NFTs, either XRP? That's fine. You can use your stacks for NFTs. It's just secure as using it to secure crypto. Uh, Hello, brother. I've seen that Tangem is like a warm wallet setup if the private keys generated initially. That's not true. Tangem is a cold wallet. The keys are stored offline on the secure element chip, and the transactions are signed offline on the secure element chip as well. Careful where you get your information, guys. A lot of people create videos just to get the views so they can make more money, which is fine, but not fine if they're spreading misinformation or just talking in theories, not actual facts and data. Gecko says your videos are helpful. Thank you, Gecko. Off the grid, do you think McAfee security and NordVPN is enough? Again, all that stuff, you don't need that stuff, man. You don't need that stuff to secure your crypto. It's really not necessary. Is it going to hurt you? No. Uh, the most important thing is that you have your key secured by a cold wallet, and you aren't connecting your cold wallets to any external websites to sign transactions. If you want to use McAfee and NordVPN, that's up to you. Completely not necessary though. Because again, the whole point of a cold wallet is to keep the keys offline. That way, if you ever were to get malware on your device, it's not going to affect your keys. They're not stored on the internet connected device. ERM says, if you transfer crypto from Kraken to Tangent, is that a taxable event? I ask because of the fees charged on the transaction. Transferring crypto, according to the IRS, is not considered a taxable event. It's only when you dispose of a cryptocurrency. So that could be swapping one crypto for another, swapping crypto for fiat, receiving crypto from an airdrop, receiving crypto as a form of payment for a product or service. Those are all taxable events. Crypto is a taxable event. Simply transferring crypto from one address to another is not considered taxable. Also, I'm not a tax professional. If you have like more specific questions, I would reach out to them. Off the grid, what are your top 5 crypto? It's not something we talk about on the channel. Pantheon Tails, what about USDT like Trust Wallet or MetaMask? What I'm not sure what your question is. If you could all right, heroes, do you see a crash happening soon for crypto or markets? No idea. Only God knows. No one knows. No one can tell you that for sure. JD Sheck says off topic, but do you recommend any credit or debit cards that offer crypto rewards? I've been seeing a lot. I can't vouch for it because I haven't used it, but the Gemini card seems to be really popular right now. So maybe look into the Gemini card. Can you show how to send XRP from Kraken to Tangem? It's the same process of sending any crypto. It's exactly the same process. Go look up my video, how to send and receive crypto using your Tangem wallet. And instead of using the crypto that I used in that video, just replace it with XRP. You just copy the receiving address from your Tangent wallet for the XRP network. You paste it into Kraken. You enter the amount of XRP you want to send. You need to send one XRP first for the first transaction. Send one XRP. Once that's done, you can send the rest. Very straightforward. Off the grid says, so connecting my ledger to Stellar Term to get, let's say, a stronghold SHX, which is third-party wallets, are the only way that counts as connecting online. I have no idea what that means. What I'm talking about is connecting to something like a decentralized crypto exchange or a website where you would claim an airdrop or an NFT marketplace and you sign a contract or a spend approval that allows that transaction to happen. When you sign a spend approval, you're telling the contract, you're telling the platform that you're interacting with, yes, you can take crypto from my wallet. If that platform is malicious, then they could have access to all of your crypto and steal all of your crypto. Or even if that platform is safe today, like let's say you connect your Ledger wallet to OpenSea and the OpenSea NFT marketplace, and you sign a spend approval with your Ledger wallet. If OpenSea is ever compromised in the future, then they already have that spend approval, and hackers can access the crypto on that account in your wallet. That's what I mean by connecting to third parties. Jose says Tangem or Ledger Flex. It depends. Both are going to secure your crypto. Tangem is a mobile only wallet. It's also the most user friendly wallet on the market. It'll support more cryptocurrencies than Ledger. It's also more durable, more affordable. That said, Ledger has its own screen. You can use it with both your mobile and laptop or desktop computer. So it works on Mac, Windows, Linux, iOS, Android mobile devices using Bluetooth or USB-C. But it really just depends on kind of your personal preference, as well as what cryptocurrencies you need it to support. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with either. That's why I have both. That's why I have 8 sets of Tangent cards, 3 Ledger Flexes. This was my 8th set that we just set up on the live stream. So yeah. Is there staking out for USDT on Tangem? No, there isn't. Can I use my regular phone or use a phone that only has Tangem app on it? You don't need a dedicated phone to use Tangem. You can use your everyday normal phone. I've been doing that for 3 years. There's no issue doing that. Tangem is not designed in a way that you have to use it with a specific like one phone for the Tangem wallet. You can use it with your everyday phone. It's completely fine. Jose says, "Is it safe to buy Ledger Flex from Best Buy?" Probably, but not something I'll personally ever do or recommend. I always buy it directly from the manufacturer. Also, if you buy the Ledger Flex from Best Buy, you'll never get the deals that they have. For example, if you use my link to buy it, you get $20 in free Bitcoin. You don't get that at Best Buy. ERM says, "My wife and I have Tangent. We just purchased another family pack, one set for our son. That's awesome, and another for a nephew. Super cool. Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing that because you're not alone in doing that. I've seen a ton of people have commented on the channel saying that uh, get Tangem cards for their kids to really introduce them into crypto. If you're going to introduce your family or your friends into crypto, uh, I think the only right way to do that is to show them how to set up and securely, store their crypto using cold storage wallet, and since all of us, especially, the younger generation are on their phones, and understand how that works, it's really a no-brainer to use Tangem to introduce people into crypto. One of my best friends on his birthday, he was investing in some crypto, he had it on Coinbase. So for his birthday, I was like, I got him a Tangem wallet, and I literally sat there with him and I gave him the box. I was like, "Here you go. Happy birthday. This is a cold wallet. Stores the keys to your crypto offline. Go ahead and set it up." He set it up himself without my help, and then I transferred crypto to his Tangent wallet from my crypto wallet as an present, and kind of explain the significance of the seed phrase and not to share it with anyone. Um, and yeah, he still has his crypto secured today in a Tangent wallet, and he got it out of Coinbase because prior to that, Coinbase had locked his account for a year, which is the reason he's like, I got to do something else. So, uh, John says hello from Slovenia. Is swapping on Tangent safe? Yes, it is. Off the grid hero says, so you recommend never connecting to the Holy Grail bag on your ledger to third parties? Yeah, never connect any cold wallet where your main portfolio is stored to third party websites where you're signing transactions on those websites. That's one of the a guaranteed way to compromise your wallet. Gaurav says, what is your experience until now using the Tangent wallet? As I've just ordered one from your videos. By the way, if you're watching this, you can get 10 or up to 15% off your Tangent wallet using the link in the description. You can get 15% off select cards, 10% off the normal cards, or 15% off the ring. I also put in the description a full user guide if this video wasn't enough for you. So if you want to see how to set it up and transfer crypto, there's a user guide in there as well. There's also a link to the metal seed phrase plate that I recommended earlier, where I keep my seed phrase. This is metal versus keeping it on a piece of paper. Those discount codes for all those in the description. As far as my experience using the Tangent wallet, I'm not sure if there's something specific you want to know. I've been using it for almost 3 years now. I've never had any issues necessarily. All my cryptos has remained safe. Out of all the wallets I own over 30 different hardware wallets. Tangem is the one I use most often, and it's by far the most convenient and simplest to use. It's also the one I enjoy using the most. That's been my experience. Jose says, so why so many wallets? In general, this is my job. I test and review hardware wallets. So, it's my job to own every wallet and to test them all. As far as why so many Tangent wallets, because I like collecting the different designs, just like out of just being a nerd. And then Tangem is the easiest wallet to manage multiple wallets. So if you're looking to diversify your crypto across multiple wallets, Tangem is the easiest cold wallet to do that with, since you can manage all your wallets in the app. And Tail says, thanks for your information. Of course, happy to help. And thanks for your thought-provoking questions. Jose says, where is the link to get $20 on Bitcoin? Jose, just go to my YouTube channel and search Ledger Flex on YouTube, or just go to my channel and go to the live stream I did yesterday. There's a link. You have to use my link, and it'll get you that $20. That link is on all of my videos where I talk about Ledger. So if you just type in Ledger Flex Cyberskrilla, or again, just go to my channel, go to the live stream tab. I can show you right now. Let me just show you how to do this. Go to YouTube. Okay. So Jose, if you go to the video, this one, just in 126,000 Bitcoin, if you click on this video and go to the description, there is a link there for the Ledger Flex. It'll get you $20 worth of free Bitcoin. Let me see. I'll go to it. I'll show you the link right here. So if you buy the Flex or the Stacks, you'll get $20 in free Bitcoin. Just know this will come in a physical voucher, which looks like this, and you'll be able to use the QR code. You'll be able to scratch the code and then use it to claim it. in Ledger Live, you get access to that after like 30 years. Sometimes it's even like a week. Um, but this link, again, it'll get you $20 in free Bitcoin using buying a Flex or a Stacks, or even if you buy a Ledger Nano X or the S Plus, it'll get you $10. Gaurav, how to find an malware on my iPhone before setting up the privacy on my phone. You could probably look in the App Store for like a malware scanner. Um, Otherwise, you could consider factory resetting your phone. But to be clear, as long as you download the official Tangem app from the App Store, you're going to be safe setting up your Tangem wallet. Kreml says, "Thanks for being no nonsense. Of course, of course, of course. The goal is always to provide." Uh, Elevated Mind says, "Would you recommend SafePal S1 Pro?" SafePal is fine for securing your crypto. It's not one of my favorite or even top of the brand in terms of like usability, but if you like it, then that's fine. Miss J says, "I'm confused on different networks on Tangent for different coins. How do you know which network to pick?" Well, if you're sending crypto from an exchange, for example, the exchange will tell you what network that crypto is on, or you choose a network. It's the same network that you'll receive it on in your Tangent wallet. So basically, whatever the exchange tells you, that's what you need to receive it on. Off the Grid says, "What if the third parties are specified back to the company like Stellar, which you can swap?" Um, Again, the same thing applies. If you are signing a contract approval or a spend approval using your wallet, it really doesn't matter what the platform is or how reputable it is. You still always risk having that crypto compromised on that account if that contract is ever compromised. If you've already connected to third parties and you've signed transactions, go to this website. Let me show you. Let me show you what it is. You can revoke contract approval. I went to the wrong website here. Oh, here we go. So if you go to this website called revoke.cash, this will allow you to revoke contract approval from your wallet. So once you, let's see. Yeah, but once you connect your wallet, it's going to show you um, all your contract approvals, and you'll need to click the revoke button. Let me show you here. So like this right here, this is a contract that I approved. As you can see, it says it's unlimited, meaning they can always spend my crypto. So if this contract were ever compromised, they would get access to this account, which is on Ethereum. So they could basically compromise my entire Ethereum account. If you wanted to revoke it, you would tap the revoke button, and then you sign it with your wallet. So you need to have your Ledger wallet plugged in and sign it that way. So yeah. So you can use that website to revoke contract approvals. Note that you will have to sign transactions on the blockchain, which means you have to pay transaction fees. I don't have any opinions on Lobster Wallet. It's not a cold wallet, so fine for managing crypto, not fine for storing it. Marsha says, "How can I set up a Tangent wallet now and add a Flex wallet after I receive in mail? Can I use both to hold my crypto from the Kraken account?" Um, if you wanted to do something like that, just use the same seed phrase so you could set up your Tangent wallet with the seed phrase right now. Then once you get your Ledger Flex wallet, during the setup process, there will be an option to import your recovery phrase. You'll just enter the seed phrase that you created on your Tangent wallet into the Ledger wallet, and you will be able to manage your the same crypto. Once you send it to your Tangent wallet or whatever, you'll be able to manage your crypto from both devices. Off the Grid says revoke is safe. Yes, it is. Jonah says, "If I get a cold wallet, can I get out currency that isn't showing liquidity?" Not sure what you mean, but if you're trying to sell a cryptocurrency that doesn't have liquidity, then you can't do it. That's not dependent on the wallet. That's dependent on the token itself. What if you have crypto on the third wallet or have to use it because Ledger does not support swapping it? So you can safely connect your Ledger wallet to something like MetaMask, for example. That's not the risk. In that case, you're basically just swapping out Ledger Live for something like MetaMask. That's not the risk. The keys are still stored on the Ledger device. The risk comes from signing the transactions. If you sign a transaction using your Ledger device, you are putting that specific account at risk because you are assigning a spend approval saying that they can take crypto from that account in your wallet. So it doesn't matter what software you're using. What matters is the contracts you're signing. I hope that has helped everyone. Again, links are in the description to get big discounts on your Tangem wallet. I got to roll out of here. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully this was helpful. If you want to learn more about the Tangem wallet, I answer over 40 questions in this next video. Make sure to check that out. God bless and peace out.